Alrighty then. Hey folks, welcome to another live review here on the Flipside. We do things a little bit backwards and upside down here. So basically what we're doing here is I'm just going to give my review of these two expansions for Heat, Pedal to the Metal. Now, the two expansions are Heavy Rain and a newly acquired copy of Tunnel Vision. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to, of course, just as normal with any review, explain basically what's in each of these boxes and what kind of nuances they bring into the game. Then we're also going to, I'm going to share my opinion on the content of these two boxes. Then we're going to also talk a little bit about what we think the future of the game, of the franchise, might have in store, based on a couple of the things that are in these boxes and what I think might happen. Could be true, could be completely off base. That's for us to find out in the future. But the difference being is that this is not recorded. This is a live review. It's a session that is being recorded live, and you have the opportunity to provide input as well. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments that you'd like to make, I'd be happy to field those questions and or respond to those comments, and we'll go from there. And that can be part of the review. That's one of the cool things about doing these live reviews, is it gives you the opportunity to provide input, and it allows me to have a little bit of interactivity going on, rather than just a rote, here's how the game plays, this is what I think, here's my rating, blah, blah, blah. All right, so that's what we're doing. Let me go ahead and take a look at who's here. Matthew Vincent is here. What's up? What's up? David Brownlee, howdy, howdy. My copy of Tunnel Vision arrived yesterday. Thankfully, the rules are small. Yes, they are small rules. There's not a lot added to as far as rules are concerned, but I think what's in there is significant, so we'll get to that in just a few moments. Thank you for being here, David and Matthew both. What we're going to do is go ahead and get started because we do have a good bit of stuff to show and a good bit of stuff to talk about, and I want to talk about things at the end as well. Round 1988 just played on Monday and planning to play a game for tomorrow night. Awesome, and so do you. Wrong stream, Ryan. You're a day late and $1 short. Anyway, thanks for being here, Ryan, and good to have you here too, Ram. Appreciate you. All right, let's go ahead and get down to the table. We will take a look at the contents of each of these expansions, and we'll start with Heavy Rain first. So we will put Tunnel Vision off to the side over there. So Heavy Rain comes in this box. It is a pretty flat box, as you can see, because basically all it's going to have is a few more components. So we'll talk about the rules in just a minute. So it's going to come with the orange player. So it's going to have an orange car and an orange gear shift for it. So that's one thing that it'll have. It'll also have the player board for the orange character, as you can see there, good old number 4. And it will also have a few more cards. So it'll have some more adrenaline cards or stress cards. It'll also have a couple of the map decks, so you can basically change up how you're going to be playing those. It also comes with, of course, the deck of orange cards. Why can't I get that out of here? Come on. So it comes with the orange deck of cards with the 0, the Heat, and the 5, of course, that are interchangeable if you're going to be using the garage or the module that helps you upgrade your card. There you go. And then of course you have all of your movement cards there as well. So that is there, and it also gives you a good bit of new more Heat cards for your set, and then it also comes with a set of, I believe these are called sponsorships. Actually these are a special card that comes in the deck. So this is a neat thing that is going to do some new stuff, and we'll talk about it in just a moment. But it doesn't provide any movement, but it allows you to do some special things, and we'll talk about that later on. It also comes with more garage cards. And as you can see here, there's this purple drop symbol that is on all of these, and we'll talk about those symbols in a little bit. And then you have also race years for those tournaments that you can do as well. So that is the bulk of what comes in the box. You have another score pad here as well, and we already talked about the heat cards and the stress cards. But let's go ahead and get to the rules, and then we'll show you the new map that comes in. So again, here is the rules. Not a whole lot going on here, right? But it does bring into a couple of different things. Heavy rain, so it means that you're going to have these flooded spaces that are on the map, and then you have these chicanes or chicanes, or I don't know how you pronounce that word, but basically it means 2 turns real close to each other. Then it also gives some more rules for the leagues, the legends, and how they're going to interact. Then you also have the idea of this idea here, the super cool. This symbol is an optional symbol to be used in step 5. And if you remember what step 5 is, it's right here where you have the opportunity to, you have to take heat or reduce your heat or cool your engine. It says you may look through your, what is that? Discard pile and remove up to that number of heat cards from your discard pile. So these cards here that are allowing you to have the 2 with the purple teardrop on it, that means that you can look through your discard pile if you use this card and take 2 heat cards out of your discard pile, not in your hand, which is a really cool thing as a matter of fact. But as you can see, all of the cards in this set have that ability on it. So that's a pretty cool addition. So that is the bulk of what's in the box, except for, of course, the new map. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And it is double-sided. So let's go ahead and put that in here. We'll start with the Japan side. And now I do want to show one thing. Japan is the one that has the flooded areas to it. The Mexico side does not have any flooded areas on that side, so we'll talk about that first. All right. So here is the Japan map, and you're going to be doing 2 laps, and then you have 7 heat and 3 adrenaline cards in your deck at the beginning of the game. And then, of course, your weather tile, whatever you use, could change those 2 numbers a little bit. But you'll notice that the corners here have these flooded areas in them. And what these flooded areas mean is that if you shift gears up or down, let me double check that real quick. I think it's just up. I think it's up or down. It could be just up though. Nope, just shifting down a gear, not up or down. Just shifting down a gear. When you're shifting down in these corners here, you have to use an extra heat. So if you're just shifting down 1 gear, then you have to pay 1 heat. But if you're shifting down 2 gears, you would normally have to pay 1, you have to pay 2. So that's another thing that's going on here, which, I mean, you do start with a little bit more heat in your deck, but, I mean, that makes these turns a little bit more dicey, which I think is a pretty cool thing. Now, there are also these chicanes, and they are denoted by this blue cross-hatching on the other side. So you have one corner here, and then another corner right after it with the same speed value. Now, so if you, for example, this is 4 and this is 4. If you can hit here and then be able to play 4 on your next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're good. You've passed both and you're good to go. The legends, if you're using the AI deck, basically, normally a legend cannot pass one corner, more than one corner at a time. But Another difference is these chevrons that are on top of these road post signs that have to do with the Legends deck. If a Legend starts in one of these spots that has a chevron on it, like these two right here, like those three, it can go past a second corner line in that same turn. It's called aggressive Legends, is what it's called. So that's the chicanes or however you pronounce that word. So that's what's on this one. On this side here, we have, so we've got a very long chicane right here. And then you've got another one over here, a very short one, and you're only going 2. So that's pretty cool, but there's no flooded spaces on this one. You start with, you're going to be doing 3 laps on this one, and you're going to start with 6 heat and 2 adrenaline cards or stress cards, however you want to call it. But wow, a 7 speed through this thing. That's significant. That's pretty cool. But that is the, so you've got Mexico and Japan for the 2 maps here. And that is the, that's the long and the short of Heavy Rain. So that's pretty cool. Let me go ahead and put all this stuff away. So this brought into the chicanes and the flooded things. So that's the main changes to the rules. So let me put all this back in here. And then we're going to go on over to Tunnel Vision. And Tunnel Vision is the most recent release for the expansions of the 2, at least. And so it also brings into it a new purple car. So it looks like number 9. And so you now have a purple car if you buy this. We'll put this off to the side. And so you have the purple car and the purple gear shift. You have all of Purple's cards here, just as you did in the other one with with the orange car. Then you also have these guys right here, more, I think they're called sponsorships or what have you. So you have the Eel Wings Industries. It's going to move you 5. This means that you're going to be able to move an additional 2 spaces if you wish during the course of the game, and that's going to be kind of the new marker on all of these cards. But then you have all of the new upgrade cards here as well, front wings, and then you have, are they all front wings? Wow, they are. And I didn't even notice that. That's cool. But anyway, a lot of cool stuff that are in these boxes. I'm sorry, on these cards. So more movement. You're able to take a card from your discard pile and put it back on top of your deck. You're going to be taking 4 cards from the top of your deck and putting it into your discard pile. So there's a lot of different combos that are strange, but they're pretty interesting. This one allows you to, I believe it's look at 2 cards. And you know what? I'm just going to look that up because I can't remember. Drafting. Symbol is optional symbol used in draft. So this is 5. Move your car forward. The racetrack number of spaces, all spaces you move. So yeah, drafting, this is just moving forward. You don't have to slipstream in order to do that. This is a different way of movement. So it's in addition to the slipstreaming that was earlier. Now, you have, let's see, of course, the new, basically the same thing that was in the other ones. You have the 2 map cards that you can use for randomizing, and then you have another year, 1965. So you had 1964 in the other one, 1965 on these as well. So for that tournament scene. And then you have keeping points throughout the totality of the year, more heat, and more stress cards or adrenaline cards. All right, so you get all that. Now, again, rules are super short, just like in the other one. Not a whole lot added to it, but I think it's significant. You have tunnels added to this, and we'll get to it on the board, but basically, tunnels, if you are at the end of your turn, if you're inside a tunnel, you cannot use the discard option on phase 8. So normally you'd be able to discard down as long as the cards can be discarded, and then you can draw back up to 7. But if you're inside a tunnel at the end of your turn, you can't do that. So any other kinds of things, like it says here, cooling down is not discarding, using the scrap icon, explaining on page 4, Advanced Play Rulebook, is not discarding. So there are other ways that you're going to be able to still get rid of cards at the end of your turn. But this particular thing right here, that flat ability of being able to discard cards out of your hand, you can't do that if you're in a tunnel at the end of your turn. So chicanes are still there as well. Again, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Somebody help me out. Or chicane, I don't know. Now, we talked about these aggressive legends last time. On the other map, there was only 1 chevron, but now you have 2 chevrons. So legends can be more aggressive on some portions of the track, getting the opportunity to clear several corners in the same round. If a legend starts its turn on a space that has 1 or more chevrons above the diamond on the track, it can cross 1 extra corner line. So it's the same thing as whatchamacallit. Then you have the draft symbol. Drafting happens basically before slipstreaming does in these cases. So it can help you get into a position to where you can slipstream past cars as well. So that's an interesting thing, but that's generally here. And then, of course, the championship system cards that are still there as well. So let me go ahead and get this out of the way, and we'll take a look at the 2 maps that come in this box. So here we have Spain, and it's a pretty involved map, and you see that you have these tunnel spaces here. They're shown with pretty cool looking artwork with an archway over both ends of it, and then in between it's kind of shaded. So there's a couple of different but a couple of different visual cues that tell you if you're in a tunnel or not. As you can see, it also has these chicanes in there. There's one here and there's one there as well. The speeds are both 4. So again, as the player drivers, you can usually time it pretty well to be able to, you know, if you come up to here and you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, well, crap. But if you can come all the way up here, which is usually what you want to try to do, 1, 2, 3, 4, you can get through that turn and then, you know, put the pedal to the metal, if I can use that. Here we have a turn that is in the tunnel. That's a pretty cool thing. Another one over here. So I like what this does to the game. It makes it a little bit of a tighter game, and it also makes it you have to you know, kind of be able to work with what you have in your hand if you find yourself in the middle of a tunnel at the end of your turn, which I kind of like that, you know. So that is the Spain side, or España. And then you have the Netherlands on the other side. And the Netherlands, of course, doesn't have, kind of like with the other map, one side has the tunnel, the other side doesn't have the tunnel, but it still does have the chicanes here. Now this one actually has a regular turn here, but then the chicanes are here. So you have 2 turns that have the same speed, but this one doesn't have the same speed. So if you got to go through this one, and then you got to go through these 2. That's pretty cool. But again, with Netherlands, you've got 6 heat and 3 Adrenaline, you're going to be taking 3 laps around this one. In the other one, I didn't even read that, sorry. Down there at the bottom, you have 6 heat, 3 adrenaline, and you're only going to take 1 lap around this. So there you have it. So that is, generally speaking, everything that comes in the boxes of heat, heavy rain, and heat tunnel vision. So let me go ahead and go here and see if I can catch any of, let's see, who is here. Devenis is here, David is here, Luke is here, Victoria is here, good to see you. All my gaming friends are salivating over this expansion. I could care less. I don't like heat anyway. Well, fine, be that way, Vanessa. Future, more maps and cards. I don't think it needs any more mechanisms. Maybe named drivers for Legends Mario Andretti with some special juice for legend cards to go with it. Based on the new tracks, should be at least 4 new cards. I expect 4 more double-sided boards. Chicane. All right, thank you, Rom. I appreciate that. Chicane. I like chicanes better. I don't know. I just like the way that sounds better. Chicane is fine, though. Heat is a fun game, David says. Fast to set up and no need to calculate victory points at the end to determine the winner. Great for introducing folks to board games. Well, better than Lacerda games anyway. That's probably true. Good job. That's the track I played at Comic-Con. I still came in last, but the added challenge of the wet road, it was interesting. Thanks for that. Might be nice if they came out with modular tracks like Flamme Rouge. That way you could have multiple tracks with flooded spaces and tunnels. Oh, and rules for rockets and machine guns. Okay, I don't know about that. And helicopters? Wait a minute. We might be infringing here. Gonna head out. Just wanted to pop in and say hi. Thank you for being here, Vanessa. Appreciate it. She's probably already gone. Once we have a mechanism for dealing and taking damage, we can house rule the helicopters. I see. All right, well, here's the thing. As I'm taking a look at the 2 rule books, first of all, I really enjoy the tunnels. The tunnels is very cool, and I'm going to agree with David in a little bit that I would really like to see and we're probably jumping ahead a little bit. We'll get to this more later, but I would really like to see maps that have tunnels and flooded areas. Maybe that's too much. I don't know. We'll have to see. But a couple of things that come into play here. I'm just getting the 2 rule books out so I can have them readily available. Generally speaking, the components that come in each of these are about the same. However, I am looking at it, and it looks like Tunnel Vision does come with a little bit more. For example, it has 9 new heat cards instead of, a little bit less, rather, sorry. It has 9 instead of 15 in Heavy Rain, but it's got 1 more stress card than Heavy Rain did. Everything else is pretty much the same. You get 12 new upgrade cards in both, and then you're also getting some 7 sponsorship cards in both. You have EOL Wings and E-Mercury Air Systems in the other. So there's a lot of coolness there. You're getting 12 more basic cards, 3 new starting upgrade cards, player mat. Everything's pretty much the same. The differences really come in the different rule sets that are allowed to happen there. With the flooded spaces, what we found with that is that it slowed the game down a little bit, if that makes sense, because you had to be more careful coming into those corners where the flooded areas are, which meant that you've already shifted down before that. So you've shifted down a turn before you probably would have, unless you're really pushing it, and that slowed the game down a little bit, and I'm not so sure how much I like that. I don't dislike it, but I can see people's argument there where they've taken the game and they've slowed a racing game down, and I'm not so sure about that. But I liked it. I just don't know how it's going to play out in the long run. I think it's a cool idea. I love it when expansions give you basically little tidbits of change here and there, just little tweaks to make the game more challenging or more interesting. I like it when that happens. So the chicanes are an interesting thing too. And the reason I say that is because it does, I wouldn't say significantly, but it does slow the legends down. And the reason I think that's important is because I do remember playing Heat with the legends and thinking, I don't think there's ever going to be a time where I'm ever going to beat the legends. It just felt like the legends were there to make you feel like a bad driver. But with the chicanes in there, it does kind of slow them down a little bit, and it gives me the opportunity to be to feel like I can be a little bit more aggressive. Because before I was at the point where I didn't necessarily, I mean, as a solo mode, I love playing the solo mode. But I didn't necessarily like playing only against the legends because I always lost. Here, with the chicanes, it hampers them just ever so slightly, and it brings them back within reach. There are times where they shoot out ahead of you, but then you're able to catch up to them behind if they get held up in one of those chicanes. So I do like that. In order for that to happen, though, it's kind of a perfect storm type situation because they do have the ability to go through two corner lines with those chevrons. But if they overshoot those chevrons, or rather, I'm sorry, undershoot those spaces, then they still have to basically stop in both of those corners, which could slow them down. So I do like that addition to the game. With the tunnels, I really enjoy that one. That one is one where it doesn't really slow you down directly because it gives you the opportunity, well, it takes away from you the opportunity of discarding cards ad nauseum. Which, when people are doing that, they're usually, I would imagine, well, it depends, I guess, on the situation, but you could be discarding a lot of high cards so that you can make sure you hit that corner right, or you could be discarding a lot of low cards so that because you know you're going to hit the corner right, and you want to power out of it by discarding those lower cards. So I like the nuance that the tunnels bring into it because it gives you a couple of more things to think about. If you know you're going to get stuck in the tunnel, okay, well, now I have to be thinking ahead and to how am I going to work with what I have in my hand in order to stay in first place or to stay up with the pack or what have you. So I really did enjoy that one. It's also interesting that they include cards that, those draft symbols. They know you're going to have to be a little more careful, or you're going to have to work with what you have in those tunnels, but they've given you cards that allow you to draft and move a few extra spaces so that maybe you can get in those positions to slipstream. And so I think that's a great combination there. The other one with the super cool, again, that's a great combination. You're given cards or upgrade cards that are going to allow you to get heat out of not just your hand, but also your discard pile, but you're also having to take more heat over the course of the game because of those flooded areas and having to downshift usually when you're in them. So I like that combination of new things that come in each of these expansions that match each other. One is a hindrance, the other one is a boon, and they kind of equal out well. And so I really do enjoy that aspect of both of these expansions. Let me hit back here for a second. I already read that one. Don't need to use both at the same time. It would, however, be nice to have more than one track with each feature. That is correct. While I want the flexibility of a modular track, I appreciate the faster setup of the existing boards. And yes, that is part of what you would be trading off if you have a modular board, you're going to have a higher setup time. So that would be the trade-off, so that's a good thing. So when are we going to see Flipside branded neoprene mats with custom heat maps as giveaways? Probably never. That sounds highfalutin, if you ask me. But before we move on and start talking about future things, I do just want to say both of these expansions, even though I'm still kind of on the fence with the flooded areas part of the tracks, these two expansions both get 2 thumbs up for me. I really enjoy what both of these expansions do. I think I like Tunnel Vision a little bit more than Heavy Rain, but both of them are positive experiences, positive expansions for me. I don't think that I don't think I can draw much more of a delineation there because both of them do things that I enjoyed. I think I enjoy Heavy Rain a little bit less, but I still like what it does. So it's a 2 thumbs up for me. And I really enjoy Tunnel Vision. And can I just say, Vincent Dutrait's artwork is amazing. Amazing. All right. I love this guy's artwork and it just looks really cool. Now that we're done with the rating, 2 thumbs up, way up. If that's all you wanted to come here for, you are free to go. I held you for 30 minutes. I'm sorry. But one thing that I want to talk about now is the future. Now, you guys have already kind of weighed in on this a little bit, and I will absolutely agree with you on what some of you have said. Some of you have said, first of all, more maps and cards, certainly. I want to show you something on one of the maps, though. And I think some of you have already caught on to it. But if you look over here, what's different? Well, the difference was all of the other maps that came out before Tunnel Vision and before Heavy Rain stopped here at 8. Now, this map and the Heavy Rain map go all the way down to 12. So at some point, we are probably going to be seeing more cars, which begs to differ. Does that mean then that we're going to be able to play up to 12 people? I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know that I want to play this game with 12 people. I think my favorite way to play this game is with 4, 5. We played it with 6 on Memorial Day. And because of the simultaneous action selection portion of the game, it doesn't really make the game go that much longer. But the more people you have in the game, the higher the possibility, I guess I could say it, put it that way, that you're going to have people that are just taking too long. So I don't know that I ever want to play this game with 12 players, but it looks like it might be coming down the track, right? Because, and I know that's a like low-hanging fruit, right? But it's there. So at the very least, I think we're probably going to have 4 new cars. I would imagine possibly they might be coming out with another Legends deck that handles more than just 4 cars, because I'm pretty sure that's what. No, it's not 4. It's 6, right? I'm pulling everything else out. Where is it? It's in here. Oh, it's on the top, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It has 6 different colors on it. It has 4 legends, and then it has silver and black as well. So it has 6 cards on there. I mean, 6 drivers on there. I will say this, all right? So in the core box, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spots for card decks, player decks. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is that I would imagine that this is going to play up to 8 players and you're going to have 4 legends available. I don't think they're going to be able to, I don't think they're going to say play this with up to 12 people. You can, and there might be rules for that, but I also don't know that they're going to make this a 12-player game. It definitely has the possibility of doing that, but I don't think they're going to do it. Now, this leads me to a couple of other things. Notice that this box is pretty much full with both of these expansions. So, is there a possibility of there being a big box expansion where they give you room? I mean, I can fit everything that's in these 2 boxes in this box, and it is full with about that much lid lift. All right, because of the extra 2 maps that are in there, there's going to be some lid lift that's there, but you can fit everything in here, but you're going to have some lid lift. I would imagine, I would venture to guess that I would imagine there's going to be a big box expansion for this. And if they really want to go down the, basically printing money route, they could probably do a big box expansion with 4 more cards, a new Legends deck, 2 new maps or 4 new maps or whatever it might be, double-sided. There could be a number of different things that are out there, and those other maps have more of the tunnels, more of the flooded areas, so that you don't have just 1 of each right now. Yeah, I could definitely see where that would be happening, because this is a supremely popular game, and I know that it's not for everybody, but I could definitely see where a big box expansion is coming with more, it'll fit everything that's out there now, and it gives you X number of new maps, new cars, so that now you can have 12 cars out there, and so forth and so on. And I think that's probably going to happen. I could be wrong, though. Let's see. A couple of other things that I wanted to hit on. I love the idea, actually, of named drivers that were on the Formula circuit. I love that idea. Love, love, love that idea. I think that would be a great addition to this game, so that you can play against, or check this out, you have variable player powers, man. It comes out with 8 new drivers or 12 drivers, and you get to draft which driver you want to be, and that gives you your own little loadout and your own little idea of what you're going to do in the game. Dude, that would be so cool. That would be so cool. 4 new double-sided boards. Yeah, I think that's probably in the pathway of where this game is going. Probably so. Let's get down to the bottom here. 2 thumbs up, Sam. Come on, you can do better, Sam. No, I can't. I only have 2 thumbs. I only got 2 thumbs. What can I can't. 2 thumbs and 2 big toes? What's up with that? Maybe each player races 2 cars like team racing. That would be a cool idea as well. You have teams that are at the table. So you have 6 teams and everybody has 2 drivers. Every team has 2 drivers. That would be awesome. That would be really cool. I think that's a great idea. Dang it, Luke beat me to my point. Like in Flamme Rouge, where you control 2 cyclists, I think anyways. I haven't played Flamme Rouge in a minute. Yeah, Heat is so good. Heat is so good, Kyle. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Marco. Oh yeah, I responded to your thing. I thought you were all thumbs. I can be. I can be all thumbs. That's for sure. Overall, Days of Wonder knows what they're doing. I think they know that they've got a great franchise happening here, and I think they're going to do a lot of good in expanding it even more. I would even say in the very near future. I don't know that they would. They've got their hands full with Battle for Hoth coming out this year. Maybe it'll be next year, but I could see just before Christmas that they announce something else that's pretty big. They may have already announced something. I don't know. I don't keep a real close tab on announcements or anything like that. I probably should be better at that, but I'm not. But I could see something new coming out pretty soon for this. But, you know, we'll have to wait and see. Are you planning on doing a live play? Well, now that you mentioned it, I was planning on playing Heavy Rain tomorrow on my solo mode playthrough tomorrow afternoon. And then I was planning on playing JT is not going to be able to be here on Friday for our regular playthrough. So I was trying to find something that we could do that is relevant, and I think tunnel vision is a great little has a great relevance to it, and we'll have to see. I want to try to get 3 players here, and then have 3 or 4 legends out there on the track with us. But we'll have to wait and see. But I think that might be something we do, because this has, and another thing about expansions. Expansions should reinvigorate your love for the game, and that's exactly what both of these have done. Kind of did a crash course. I just got tunnel vision in last week, and kind of did a crash course on over the weekend, where we played Heavy Rain on Saturday, and then we played tunnel vision on Monday. And I played Heavy Rain again, because I was kind of unsure about that, taking a heat as you go through. And I settled on the idea that I do like it, but I do like the tunnel vision better. But I played that solo this afternoon, or rather earlier this morning, as I was preparing for doing this review today. So that might be happening. Tomorrow I'm definitely going to do a solo mode of it. And then Friday, I think we'll try to get 2 or 3 players in, and have about 4 AI Legends players on there on Friday as well. So we might just have ourselves a week full of Heat, Pedal to the Metal, and Heavy Rain and tunnel vision. So yes, I will be doing that. Marco retracted his message. Marco, what did you say? I'm stoked for Battle of Hoth. I am too. I reached out to Days of Wonder, and I said, I feel weird asking this because my channel's small, but is there any way, what can I do to get a review copy of Battle for Hoth? And sure enough, they responded and said, we would be glad to send you a review copy. Send me your shipping information, and we'll make sure you get one. And I'm like, yes! So stoked for that. So stoked indeed. But I was just like, man, I can't wait. I can't wait. Memoir 44 is one of my favorite games of all time. Well, it's my second favorite game of all time. And I am a huge Star Wars fan. Always have been, always will be. I even enjoyed the latest 3. I like watching Star Wars, okay? I don't care if it's what I wanted them to do. Did I think they could have done better with the story? Should they have tapped into the expansive novels that are out there for their storylines? Yes, absolutely. Yes, for the movies at least. I really enjoy what they're doing with the Disney Plus stuff. Anyway, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm so freaking happy that I'm gonna be able to get a review copy of Battle for Hoth. So we're gonna dive head first into that as soon as it shows up. I guarantee you that. Flipside power-up tokens in the far lane that double your speed if you pass over them. Send your opponents flying into the corners. That's not a bad idea. Thought you might find a creative new word replacing thumbs, like in Miami Dice from yesteryear for the Dice Tower. Appreciate all your content, dear Sam. Oh, thanks, Marco. I appreciate it. No, I know what you're talking about. 2 thumbs up. That's just something that, you know, I try to keep it simple. You know what I mean? Here on the flip side, I try to keep it simple. So it's a real, if I give something 2 thumbs up, that is like an overarching positive approval. Go get it. If you have, don't hold back your grocery money to go buy tunnel vision. That's not what I'm saying. But if you can afford it, go out and get it because it's approved. 1 thumb up is, hey, try it before you buy. I enjoyed it. You might not. Go check it out. Whatever. We rarely give 0 thumbs down because I usually try. I usually don't cover stuff here on this channel that I didn't care for, because I don't want to be part of that negative hype train, and I don't want to be part of the tragedy vampire sect that in some cases seems to be prevalent. So if I don't cover it on my channel, there's 2 things going on there. Either I didn't play it or I don't like it. One of the 2. Memoir 944, the Blood Rage expansion. Hey, it's okay. That I'm down. Let's do it. Let's do it. 878, Memoir 878. Let's do it. Let's see. Hoth is in the Klingon territory? Huh? I don't know what you're talking about, man. The Blood Rage expansion. Oh, man. What a crossover that would be. All right, well, that's about it. I don't have anything really else more to say. I think I'm going to be interested to see where they come out. I want to see if some of the things that you've said come true. I want to see if some of the things that I'm thinking about are going to come true. I think it'll be, if any of that stuff that we've talked about here, whether it was from me or from some of you guys, if any of that comes true, I think it'll be a positive step in the right direction for this game. It's a great game, and I think as long as they play their cards right, no pun intended, it can only get better. And I think that that's what they've done with both of these expansions. So there you have it. These won't stand up on their own, so I have to kind of do something like this. There we go. Thanks for joining me. We appreciate your time and effort being here. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care. Victoria, I know Klingon. It's Klingon, not Kingon. Kingon? It's Klingon. That's what I'm talking about. It's Klingon, not Kingon. So I didn't know what he was doing there. I know that Klingons are in Star Trek. That was precious. Thank you. I appreciate that. Trek Wars, yep, bye all. See you later. Days of Wonder will remake Heat into pod racing. Nah, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Anyway, we'll see you guys and gals later on. Take care. Bye-bye.